Daisy chains and sweet champagne, and 2 days alone with you. Not too far from the city by car, or maybe we can make a more romantic trip by train to the country. It's where I want to be with you for the week.
Homestead Creations. How y'all doing?
Well, we're doing fine. Thought we'd put together a little video for our homestead channel. So those of you who like to see what we make on our homestead, because we're creating something at the moment, and should have started this when we first got going on it. I'll probably have some pictures thrown up in the beginning of us getting this log and bringing it up on. Getting it up on here and all of that, so maybe I'll lead in with some of that to get you to where we're at. At the moment, what we've been trying to do is just get this down to where we can get a large batch of dimensional stuff. Now this is also going to be some dimensional stuff too. So what we've been ripping off on these slabs are 4/4 inch of thick stuff. So it's an inch thick, and you can see there's bark edge on some of them. Some of them don't have bark edge, that they're cut. And all of these, with the exception of 1 or 2 that we're going to keep for some wide board material, all of these are going to go back up on the mill as soon as this gets cut. So what we have left is the center cant of this log, and it is actually putting it, oops, I'll roll my foot out from under. It is actually 14 inches by 15 inches at the moment, or no, excuse me, 15 by 15 is what we just measured. And it is post oak, huh? 14 by 15. I was right. So today we're in the process of making our boards with cost of lumber today. If you invest in one of these things, it will pay for itself with a few of those things milled up quickly if you can get your trees on your own land. And that's where we're at right now. So let's talk a little bit about maximizing our yield from this and what we're going to do. So far what we've done basically is skim off the bark on the outside and just keep cutting 1-inch slabs till we get down and till we've basically cleaned off the outside, because I want to get it down into the majority of the meat. And some of you on my other channel will recall me going through what we were doing in trying to pull out the best material from right around the core, outside, inside the sapwood, which is what we've cleared out with the exception of just a little bit where that bark is. So most of the sapwood is gone, and we're into the heartwood. And what we need to do is work around the pith. As you can see, this one has a little bit of rot in it. It's not too far and not too bad, but it goes all the way up the middle. Now, we have made the decision, or I should say, the owner of the log has made the decision to use the majority of this wood for, get some lighting, the majority of this wood for building a chicken coop and a rabbit hutch, so that you know, he can put his animals in the structure. So what we're working on, there's a couple of things that we're going to do to get some good dimensional material. Now, because this is oak, you can go slightly thinner dimension than pine when it comes for strength. Oak is much stronger than pine is on it, and what we're wanting to do is, since we're going to use this for siding boards, essentially, we're going to get it down to close to about a 12 by 12 ish. So I've got a couple more 1-inch slabs I'm going to run off of this. There are a couple specialty pieces that we're going to keep on this because the wood is such beautiful wood. I mean, it really is gorgeous green on it. It's not as easy to see now that it's dried out a little bit, but maybe you can see over here. All right, see, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, and there's some areas in here that have some bird's eye, some where little branches started to grow and then got overtaken. This is beautiful. You get this smoothed down and sanded and stained. Oh my God, that's going to be gorgeous. And you can see some knot inclusion and bird's eye in here. Gorgeous stuff. So we're going to turn this primarily into some essentially 3/4 by 4 inch slabs or slats. So there'll be, you know, kind of like, so we got the fake commercial stuff that is like the T111 siding there. Compared it with my boards for the barn down there on the barn, our oak barn, our oak shit house. That's what we like to call it. Or actually, one of you guys or on my other channel called it that. Built like a oak shit house, built like a brick shit house. Anyway, so we're going to do some different structural strength structural pieces. The 3/4 by 4 inch slats that will come out of these slabs that we're going to cut. And I hear them. You better get them. So we got some baby turkeys in there, like one's missing mama. And then the 1-bys, I'm going to bring them back in, stand them up on here with using a couple of these cant blocks that are left over to help hold them up straight and square in here. And then I'm going to set them on edge, and I'm going to rip out 1x3s instead of 3/4 by 4s. I'm going to do 1x3s, and these will be structural as well, because the 1x3s could also be used to create similar to like a 2x4 function in a chicken coop and whatnot. So it'll give you some structure to use, or we use them a lot. Like on the barn, you're not going to see it here, but once we got the barn beams in here, you use the 1x slats that's strong enough to go across the top to screw your metal down. So there's a lot of uses for the different 1x and 3/4 material. That's the whole process of what we're doing, and the fun of the creation that we have here is turning this giant log, which we're estimating is somewhere near a ton, a couple thousand pounds at least. I can do the math on it, but I haven't done it yet. Maybe I'll do that a little bit later. But anyway, we've got it squared up, and while we cut it, as we cut it, we're going to be putting it up there, stacking it directly on the trailer. So guess what? We can just haul it away when we're ready to go to take it to where it's going to be. So there you go. Time to go back to cutting. If I feel a need, I might update you on some other stuff. Alright, so figure I'd show you this because it is kind of neat. This is a slab that we're going to cut in. So this is actually 4 inches thick and 15 inches long or wide and 4 inches thick and 10 foot long. That's one heck of an oak slab, my friends. You could turn that into so many fun, wonderful things. But we're going to turn it into bulk amount of essentially 1x4s by ripping this down. So we've got to get it off here, and then we got to do that again for the last 8 inches here, and go down into that and make 2 more 4-inch slabs, each of which we will put back up here, turn upright, and just start cutting down, bam, 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 all the way down. So I just had a gnat fly in my mouth. Blah. All right,
A little protein.
A little protein. Anyway, isn't that something? I don't know. To me, that just fascinates me. All right, back it a bit. And just like that, we got it down here, and then we found the bad surprise. So, unfortunately, we're not going to get the yield that we were hoping for. We're still going to get some in here, but you can see there's a good portion of these boards that have a bit of rot in them right there. Oh well, that's just the nature of doing this. Oh, this beautiful quarter sawn flecking on the end. But that's the nature of these old beasts, is you're lucky if you don't get this. But it does happen. We still got a lot of boards around it. It ain't gonna...
Well, maybe below that 4-inch might not be too bad. It doesn't...
Yeah, because we got
another 4 inches to take off.
We got 2 more slabs to get off of this. And what I'm trying to determine, maybe it'd be better to pull 4 inches that way and do a slab here. That might be a good idea. And then 4 inches on this. So I have to flip this back up, do a 4-inch slab off the top and off the bottom there, all those sides. To get away from this, I think that might be a good idea. I think we'll do that.
I'll flip it?
Yeah, we'll stand this thing up.
Flip this thing?
We'll flip the, yeah.
We'll flip it. Okay.
Flip the biscuit. Look at that. All right, well.
Hey, it's already wood, though.
Oh, it's still going to get a lot of one by out of it. But I knew we wouldn't get the core. And the other issue is this, even if it didn't have this much rot in it, what happens is the age of it, when it dries, it checks and splits real bad. And I'll show you the one down here that we did from that last blackjack oak. So that 4x4 right there is the pith, or the center of it. And there was a little bit of black ants right in here. It wasn't too bad, but you can see as it dries, you can see how bad it wants to split and crack. So that is not a viable part of it. There's some good wood right there. Gorgeous. All right, we're going to keep at it. All right, so what I've been trying to do is take this down in dimensions so that I can isolate a lot of the rot. So I've actually pulled a couple more 4x8 slabs. This one I think is going to be pretty good all the way through. There's a little bit on the other side, but not much. This one I'm going to isolate and get everything down to that rot. So I got a whole layer of boards here. And this one, I think, if we saw it correctly, yeah. See, the bottom here ain't too pretty, but I can get some slabs down here or some boards there. Then same with this one. I should be able to get some on this side, and then the middle section I might flip over and get some. This piece right here had the core of most of the rod in it. So I took out a 2-inch thick piece, which for all intents and purposes would be a true 2-inch by 8-inch by 10-foot board. But that rod ain't gonna make it. So I can get some I can get a 10-foot 2x4 out of that, a true 10-foot 2x4 of oak. But we're down to where we're about ready to start. We've got it proportioned so that we can work. So what I'm going to be able to do is I'm going to take this one down in 3/4 by 4-inch boards. And once I get the remaining cant, or that little bit of rotted piece in there, that's going to act as a stiffener. So I can bring these 1x's in here, stand them on in, and start trimming the edges down and getting some narrower stuff from that too. So the hardest part has been done, except for maybe picking that fat boy back up on there. But there you go. All right, we're gonna all fueled up, soaped up, good to go. And it's after lunch, and we just finished running out the last three of these guys here. Got a couple of sapwood slabs off the edges. I'm not sure what we're going to do with those. Just probably throw them on the stack. But it's gone. Look at that pile of sawdust. Oh my goodness. So all of this is going to get shoveled up and tossed over the garden area, because all that will act as biomatter to help with the clay conditions of the soil. We'll get it tilled in real good. It'll take a bit to rot, but it'll also help hold moisture. So we need to put more organic matter in it, so we're going to use that for the garden. Oh, poor old Honda. We worked her so hard. She run like a charm, though. All right, listen, let me show you what we got so I can kind of wrap up this creation video. Here goes the Smoky. Boy, that is a good deal of wood. Now, everything on this stack right here is 3/4 inch thick, and so it's one by 3/4 of an inch, and these will be siding boards for a structure, and they're sticked up so they can let the air flow through them and all dry fairly neatly and easily. And I think I got more board feet out of this log than what that chart I looked at called for. It said 18-inch log on a 10-foot long 18-inch diameter log would yield 123 board foot, and I think I got more than that out of there. The wide end of the log was 26 inches, and so like you see with all those slats I was just showing you from the outside, I managed to rip some boards out of that. So I've gotten a few more feet than it would have called for, because it was larger than that. And so all of this here is 1x material, so it's thicker, and it'll be more for frame and structural. There's two very long wide slats there in the middle. Those dudes have a special purpose. If we can get them cleaned up real nice, maybe some shelving for storage of stuff, and maybe some counter, some actual real wood counter. But the rest of it, I don't know, we'll have to see how it dries and how it looks. The rest of it is going to be mostly just structural material to put that stuff on. And there is more than enough wood here to build some very nice chicken house and rabbit hutch facilities. So as we get down to the core, you can see that's the actual pith right there, and it's pretty rotten. And so I went down and trimmed down as close to it as I could. There is a remainder of a 2x4. So there's a section right here that's okay, and up on that one there's a section right there that's okay. Could be used for stuff. Same with this 2x4 right here. As you can see, there's some rut in the middle, but on the end there's a little piece that could be used, and over here there's a little piece that can be used. There are 3 actual real good 2x4s, and those are full, at least a full 2 inches by 4 inches, solid, heavy duty. I'm not like these little 1.5 by 3.25 dudes that you get that are being charged $9 a piece for. There's a whole lot more than that. And this roughly 4x4 piece that's right here, it has a little bit of rot up in there, but it might be solid enough that if you used it on the inside of a structure, of a barn or something, it might might be usable. I don't know. Depends upon what gets built and how it's built. There's a bunch of ends pieces that can be kindling and stuff. There's a few more end pieces that need to be picked up. And these guys love it. As soon as we shut the motor off, somebody's tired. You look like you got punched in the face with a 2x4. Just a little bit. She slipped. We were carrying those two guys up here, and she tripped up on this, went to her knees, and the board hit the deck and bounced up and kissed her a little bit. And I about crapped my pants because I thought I was, oh my God, my baby. Well, it's a good thing she's as hard-headed as she is. I think that 2x4 suffered more than she did. Anyway, we still got more work to do. We're going to work on these guys next. But I thought we would put up a video of our homestead creations. Don't know what that's going to be, but you all see that soon enough. That is a lot of wood. All four of our noodle heads are there. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a lot of wood. Holy moly, that's a lot of wood for that big log. Shame we didn't have a full-on solid core, because we could have come out with a few more really nice pieces, but there you go. So there's a few bark edges there. There's bark edges there that are not really much. I mean, we could probably pull another 1x3 or 2 out of that. And all right, got 2 more logs to do, and we got 3 or 4 more hours of daylight here. At least. How's your knee there?
My knee's okay. That's from earlier.
Oh, you just kneed down in some poop or something.
When I went to find the littles.
Yeah.
The turkeys.
The baby turkeys. Got a couple baby turkeys up in there, and Mama and the babies keep separating, and then they have a fit, and the babies throw a fit because Mama's not around, and
Mama throws a fit.
and then Mama throws a fit, yeah, because baby, she can't find baby.
Well, she can't fly.
She can't, yeah,
Grip anything very well because she's got a missing
she's-
toe and a broken toe.
she's got both feet are busted, so she hobbles. But she's a damn good setter.
She's a good setter.
Real good setter and real good mama. So we stuck 2 of our eggs that came out of the incubator under her as they were hatching. Oh, that tickled her to death. So that's all we got. That's a long video. Say bye-bye. Kitties say bye-bye. They're all over there. Lots of fun. I'll tell you what, as much work as this is, it is a freaking trip to run this thing.
No pun intended.
On your part, no. Alright, we're out here. Say bye-bye.
Bye.
Alright, real quick, just wanted to add this in. Kind of hard to see with the lighting. But we've got, of those other 2 white oaks, we got one of them done. And you can see I've got it sticked and stacked up in here. The one log, and let's see if we can get around over here, and I still have one more to do. I did want to make one last comment about the big log that we ran. As I was editing the video, I didn't get anything said, so this is the last one. I got to run it here shortly, but that big tree there's another chart, and I'll post it right here. And that chart shows you how to calculate the weight. And so on that big log, this is a 9-foot log. The other one was 10 foot. The small end was 18 inches. The big end was 26 inches on that log. And if you look at the chart, you can. I kind of took an average of it, and if you look way down on the list of the chart, it tells you every kind of all the kinds of main trees, and that was a post oak. And if you average them out, I went, with, instead of an 18-inch or a 26-inch, I went with a 22-inch per the chart average, just average, but it was a little bit longer than 10 foot. So I kind of guessed a little bit higher to get that. It said, you know, do the math, it was around 1,660 pounds. I think it was probably closer to 1,700, just a little bit heavier than that if you had to put it on a scale. But that was a pretty impressive log. What do you think there, Shadow? Anyway, all right, so I'll say goodbye again, and thought you'd like to know that these logs right here, a lot easier to handle. That big one, man, that was impressive, very impressive. So hope you all enjoyed. Thank you so much for sticking through the video this far, and let me finish editing it so I can get it off to you.